Hi, this is John Arciola at Screen Rant, and I am here with Sean Kanan, who plays Mike Barnes, and he's back in Cobra Kai Season 5. Welcome, Sean.
Hey, brother, thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, this is amazing. So I've seen all of Season 5 already. I loved it. We're going to get right into it, and we're going to talk all about it. I grew up loving the Karate Kid movies, and I still consistently watch them. So I was thrilled to finally have Mike Barnes back. So Karate Kid 3 was your first Hollywood role, I believe. Did you ever think that 35 years later you'd come back and play Mike effing Barnes again?
Absolutely not. I mean, to be reprising a role that I played, 35 years ago, and that the role still has a place in the Karate Kid fandom's heart, and it was just something that I never imagined. Once I heard that Cobra Kai was happening, obviously I started thinking, wow, this would be an amazing opportunity to come back and reprise the role. But it's just incredible. There are very few roles that actors do that once they finish them, continue to sort of live on in the minds of the fans. And I'm just humbled and blessed, and so excited for everyone to see Season 5.
So when did you find out that Cobra Kai existed and that Ralph Macchio and William Zabka were continuing the Karate Kid and the TV series?
Well, I found it pretty quickly before they went into principal photography, because it was in the trades. And so, I was really excited for them. Billy and Ralph are terrific guys. I'm so happy for all the success that they're experiencing with this. And look, it's been a bit of a long journey for me to get to Cobra Kai, but it was certainly worth the wait.
Now, how were you finally contacted to join the show, and what was your reaction when it finally happened?
I had spoken off and on with the creators of the show, and they obviously knew that I wanted to be a part of it. And I think that probably in June of last year, I think it was June, we scheduled a Zoom meeting. It was John Hurwitz and Josh Held. Hayden couldn't make it. And we sat down and talked about the possibility of what it would look like for Mike to come back. And, I couldn't believe that they were willing to, listen to my ideas and everything, because it's not very... it's not the norm that the creators of a successful show will sit down with an actor and, get their input. So we talked for a while, and I said, look, I'm so excited to come back. I certainly put myself in your extremely capable hands. And really the only thing that I had said to them was, I really would love, if possible, that, Mike is not this sort of unidimensional character that he was in the Karate Kid 3. I've evolved a lot as a person, as an actor. Chances are that Mike has evolved too, and I would like to play the character with a lot more colors and different facets of his personality. And to their credit, that's what I think we were able to do.
Yeah, I really love the turns Mike took, and how, as you said, he really did evolve and grow as a person, as he must have over 35 years. I mean, it makes logical sense. Now, you've obviously stayed in fighting shape, and a lot of people probably don't know that you really have belts in karate. Can you talk a little bit about your karate experience?
Sure. My martial arts experience started back when I was about 15 years old. I started training in Shotokan karate, and I've trained off and on over the years in various styles, including some Brazilian jiu-jitsu and Filipino stick and knife fighting with Daryl Vidal from the Karate Kid. What's interesting is the head of my martial arts organization, which is called Genbukai, is headed up by Sensei Fumio Demura, who was Pat Morita's stunt double. And
wow.
And he actually was very instrumental in my getting the role. And what I study, Genbukai karate, is really about as close to what Miyagi-Do is as you can get, which is kind of ironic that playing the villain from Cobra Kai, I really, trained in something that's very much akin to what Mr. Miyagi taught Daniel.
That's really amazing. I just love the parallels in life to how your story turned out in the show. Now, given your karate experience, what's your take on the karate on the show, especially the younger cast who actually had to learn karate?
I think I think it's fantastic. I am absolutely in awe of the talent and expertise that everybody on the show demonstrates. It's a lot of hard work learning the choreography, making sure nobody gets hurt. Television moves very quickly, so consequently you don't get as much rehearsal time as you would on a feature film. They've got an unbelievable group of stuntmen and choreographers headed up by Don Lee. When I went down there and they kind of wanted to take a look at what I could do, and they did. And they said, well, we're in pretty good shape here. And they constructed the choreography, and, just had so much fun working on it with Yuji and, with Billy. And it was just great. It really was.
And, as a diehard Karate Kid fan, I lost my mind when you and Chosen and Johnny teamed up to fight Terry Silver. That's a dream.
Right?
How was that whole thing to shoot, like working with those guys?
Oh my God, it was so much fun. I mean, they're great guys. I mean, first of all, just hanging out with Billy and Yuji and Ralph on set is a lot of fun. You can forget really quickly that it's a job. They're great to work with. It was exciting because it was the first time that Johnny Lawrence and Mike Barnes had ever come into contact. You see these guys initially are butting heads, and then very quickly it kind of evolves into this sort of weird ersatz mutual respect into could these guys eventually become friends? And I just love when Johnny says the bad boy's right. It was just a lot. That's one of the great things about this show is the strong comedic vibe that it has. And, to watch Yuji, play a part that's got such a strong comedic aspect to it is a lot of fun. And it was important for me too that I wanted to, do my best to kind of, show a comedic side in some respects of Mike Barnes.
Definitely. Now, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit, although I think I already know the answer given your trophies. But between you and Ralph, Billy, Yuji, and Thomas, who's the best fighter? And if you take yourself out of the equation, if you say you're the best, who among them is the best?
Well, I mean, Thomas is a really accomplished martial artist. Mm-hmm. He really is. He's been doing this a long time. He's taught. So I think definitely the nod goes to Thomas on that one. And then, after that, I don't know. I think Billy and Yuji and I have all studied in varying degrees, with different levels of intensity at different times in our life. Listen, I'm 55 years old at this point in my life. I'm just happy I can still kick above my head and, not wind up pulling something and winding up in bed for 3 days. So, I don't know who's better. I always get asked that, between Barnes and Lawrence, who's better. And, I'll let the fans decide.
Yeah, and we will. We're going to debate this till the end of time, or until the end of Cobra Kai, which hopefully won't be for a long time.
But fingers crossed, right?
When we meet Mike Barnes again 35 years later, he's in a totally different place, a totally surprising place.
Yeah.
Like you said, you had put in that. What's your take on his evolution, where he is in his life now? And I love also that the second after he meets Daniel LaRusso, the whole thing falls apart.
Right. Well, I think that Mike clearly had a real difficult time after the All Valley tournament. It probably had a real rough period for a while, and as he says in to Daniel, that it was his father-in-law who taught him that he could do something else with his hands besides fight. Probably the relationship with his wife really helped turn him around. He found something that gave him a sense of value, which was, making furniture and running this furniture store, and his relationship with his wife and relationship with his father-in-law. And then I think when that's all taken away from him by Terry, the switch gets flipped, and we see that, Mike was able to be this guy over here, which was a husband and a business owner, and kind of an upstanding citizen. But once all of those elements of his new life were taken out of place, he defaults to what he knows, which is the guy's a beast and he's ready to rip the head off the snake.
Mm-hmm. Now, of course, Mike Barnes was a villain in the 80s, but he isn't your only iconic character. You've actually played Deacon Sharp for a lot longer on The Bold and the Beautiful and The Young and the Restless. So what's your key to playing a great villain, especially one that lasts for so long?
I think it's a couple of things. I think, first of all, no villain sees themselves as a villain. They see themselves as an individual trying to get what they want with a point of view. And so you have to understand what the point of view is of your character. I also think that good people do bad things, bad people do good things, and that it's always interesting to explore those nano shades of gray that exist within all of us, because very few things in life are monolithically this or that, black or white, good or bad. And so when you find the humanity in characters that ostensibly, would be called a villain, that's what makes it interesting.
And so lastly, fingers are crossed that, of course, that Cobra Kai is going to be back for season 6. Are you in this Mike Barnes if that happens?
Listen, if they would like me to be in it, just tell me, where to pack the sleeveless black gi. Well, I guess it wouldn't be a sleeveless black gi anymore, would it? So you never know, though. Yeah, sure, I'd be in it. I had such an amazing time doing it. It was an exceptional experience on so many different levels that I would absolutely love to be a part of it if they ask.
Awesome. And of course, there's also a character that hasn't been seen yet, Mike's wife, which could be an interesting plot thread to follow up on.
Sure, right. That would be great.
Pretty important. Yeah, so that's something else that's really cool to look forward to. I would love that. So this has been great, Sean. This has been amazing. Thank you so much for talking to me.
Thank you so much. It's been a privilege talking.
I hope you enjoy the love you're going to get and the reaction for Cobra Kai Season 5. It's long deserved. And
Thanks so much, brother. I hope we have a chance to do this again. You take care of yourself.